Hello and welcome to Hoop Shooting the Breeze, our show all about the hoop shoot. Each show we catch up with past participants, volunteers, and other friends of the Hoop Shoot program. I'm McKenna Cannon, and welcome to a very special episode of the show where we will be announcing the inaugural class of the Elks Hoop Shoot Hall of Fame. Joining me today are the chair and the vice chair of the Hoop Shoot Hall of Fame Selection Committee, Vern Larson and Larry Torres. Welcome, Vern and Larry.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, it's great to see you guys. You know, we've been hard at work coming up with this Hall of Fame for the last couple of months, going through the nominations, working on all the selections and meeting with the committee. But we came up with this idea months ago, back in the fall, kind of as a way to honor all of the people that have made the program what it is today. As I'm sure lots of our viewers know, each year our 6 national champions are inscribed or displayed in the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame in Springfield, Mass. But there hasn't really been a dedicated Elks Hoop Shoot Hall of Fame until now. And we're really, really excited to be kicking this off. And it is the brainchild of our own national director, Jim O'Kelly, who came up with the plan. And Vern, we asked, if you'd help us to come up with the inductees and chair this committee. What went through your mind when tasked with this back in the fall?
The very first thing was it scared the heck out of me because I've never been involved with a Hall of Fame. It's something that I looked at as an opportunity, a challenge. And serving as a chairman of it, one of my main duties was to find people that would be good on the selection committee. And that was probably the biggest challenge to start the whole thing off. I mean, it required a lot of work on the telephone, but I wanted to choose people that were dedicated to the Hoop Shoot program.
Right.
That had that love and passion and dedication to the hoop shoot and to have the experience. Some of the members have more than 50 years of experience of working on the hoop shoot program, and it's just unbelievable. It was an opportunity, and I looked forward to it, and I was concerned about the fact of getting it all done before this national finals contest, but it worked out perfectly. We had some super staff support with you and Debbie and Jim, and the selection committee turned out to be the right people to be on the selection committee.
Mm-hmm. I could not agree more with you. It went so smoothly, and I'm just so in awe of all the work that you guys put in over the last couple of months, because it was a labor of love, I think. Really, everybody was just pulling it together as much as possible. So, in that vein, I kind of want to hear from you both what it meant to be part of the selection committee. Larry, we'll start with you.
Well, it was truly an honor to be selected, for one thing, but it afforded me the opportunity to reconnect with old friends and to really dig into the history of the Elks Hoop Shoot. When we started data mining and look at all the information you guys provided over the previous 50 years, we really got to know the Hoop Shoot program in depth. There were stories and winners in there at the beginning that I didn't know much about, but I got to know all the shooters because I researched every one of them. And it was just a great opportunity to reconnect with what the Hoop Shoot means to us as Elks and the opportunity it affords our contestants.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. How about you, Vern?
I did a little bit of research on all of these selection committee members, and one of them has more than 50 years. The least amount of years was 24 years.
Oh my gosh.
We had, out of those 12 members on the selection committee, is experience of 522 years.
Whoa.
An average of more than 25 per member. I mean, it's excellent that we've got those qualified individuals to figure out the best of the best.
Mhm.
And that's what we're going to try to do and what we have done. I mean, what's the figure? I think it was how many kids are national finalists from 1972 to the present?
Oh,
Was
yeah.
it
It was
was like
something.
3,294.
Right, right.
So that the national finalists, and then if you consider the cadre of people that we have working on the hoop shoot every year,
Mhm.
we've got 1,800 lodge directors, we got 239 district directors, 50 state directors, and 12 regional directors. Times 50, going to be about 25,000 to choose from for the Elks and the contributors. And it was really a challenge, but I really feel honored to have chaired this committee and to serve it. It's a great deal.
Yeah, I mean, it's been great, and it's great to hear from both of you. It's a great perspective. I'd also just like to shout out, we had such a great committee, and some very familiar names to probably some of our audience, including our past national director, Cam Kronk. And I think that was just so great to have him be part of this too. So let's talk a little bit about the selection process and how that went. So Larry, could you share a little bit about the process and what the committee was looking for in an inductee?
First, we had to develop the criteria. What is it going to take to be selected into the Hoop Shoot Hall of Fame? So over the last several months, we were able to develop that criteria. And then we went ahead and started selecting our nominees. All of us took the task of providing our own lists. Then eventually we were able to compile those lists, but it was because of the effort the ENF and your staff did to compile all the data. There was 3 or 4 databases that we were using to research all of the contestants, and it really helped with the whole process because there was a lot of names to go through, and there's so many well-deserving candidates. It was extremely difficult at the end to pick the contestants because there's so many deserving that they could be in. But we narrowed the field down, and we had discussions over several months, and then we came to a vote, and and we come up with our finalists for the induction to the Hoop Shoot Hall of Fame.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Vern said, thousands of names to go through. You guys took the time to research all of those and go through painstakingly their different levels of achievement in the program and as volunteers. So tons of work. Vern, we've had a guiding principle kind of in the criteria and in our selection process in general. Could you share what that is?
In talking to Cam Kronk, who is one of our national directors of the entire program, and he served from 1997 to 2012. And when I talked to him, one of the first things out of his mouth was, it shouldn't be easy to get into the Elks Hoop Shoot Hall of Fame. And that's been our guiding principle for the selection committee and the process that we had to go through. It really shouldn't be easy to get into the Hall of Fame.
No, and I think that we've stuck to that. I'm really impressed with how we've made that a reality of this first inaugural class, and we'll continue that as we go forward. All right, so before we get into the meat of this announcement, Larry, can you tell us a little bit about the breakdown of our inductees? What are the categories?
Well, we have 2 categories. One is for competitors. So those are all the national finalists over the previous 50 years we took a look at. And then we have the contributors, which is all the volunteers over the years. As Vern said, there's thousands of them. So we had a big job selecting these individuals.
Absolutely. And we ended up with 44 inductees for our inaugural class, which is incredible. Out of thousands down to 44. And yeah, I think without further ado, we can get into this. So I'd like to start with the announcement of the contributors or the volunteers that have made it into the Hall of Fame. And I would be remiss to not start with the two people that are on this call with me right now. We have Vern Larson and Larry Torres. Congrats, guys. It's great to see you guys honored in this way.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It is an honor.
Yes, we're excited to have you part of the first class. All right, so for the rest of the contributors, I'll turn it over to Vern.
Okay, we narrowed the list down to 24 contributors. And the list that I have is alphabetically, so it's in no particular order or anything like that. The first inductee that I'd like to announce for the Elks Hoop Shoot Hall of Fame is Bill Cook. He's a former regional director from the state of Georgia. In fact, he's one of the longest serving regional directors in the United States at that time, 31 years.
Wow.
So Bill is in the inaugural class.
Awesome.
Secondly, I've got Bill Gerken. He was a regional director for 11 years from the state of Washington, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And he was involved with this program from the very beginning when the idea started 75 years ago, even before it turned into a national program.
Impressive.
So Bill is our second inductee for the Hall of Fame. The third and fourth ones are Cam and Linda Kronk from Montana. In this program, the spouses probably work as hard as the actual regional director. And for sure, Linda Kronk was an excellent example of that. Cam served from 1997 to 2012, but overall, he worked on the program for over 39 years.
Wow.
And Linda was a member of the Elks from Billings, Montana, and worked also in this particular program for a long time. She was the specialist for airline fares coming to the national contest and the motels and the meeting rooms and all of those detail little things when they served as national director. So they're very deserving and should be in the Hall of Fame.
Amazing.
Emil Brady is the next person on my list. He was the second national director, and there's an award named after him. Any contestant that shoots 25 of 25 wins the Emil Brady Award. The next inductee is Frank Bonner from Pennsylvania. He was a regional director for 31 years, and he worked at the different levels of the hoop shoot for 34 years. So, and a lot of those times overlap each other, but it's still a great deal of time and effort went into the hoop shoot by Frank.
Wow.
The next one is the guy that absolutely everybody, 100% of the selection committee voted for, and that's Frank Heiss. He's a past Grand Exalted Ruler, and he's the founder of the Elks Hoop Shoot program.
Mm-hmm.
He started this back in Corvallis, Oregon in 1946.
Wow.
So almost 75 years ago, and nationally we've been doing it for 50 years. But he definitely should be one of the honorees in inaugural class.
Mm-hmm.
Next on my list is Getty Powell. Getty Powell was the first national director, and one of his main duties was to travel throughout the United States promoting the hoop shoot program.
Wow.
And when you're starting at ground zero, what a challenge that was, I'm sure. And his son is now one of the committee members on the selection committee. And Bart Powell grew up going to hoop shoot activities his entire life, he said, but he wasn't counting his younger years because he said, I was just fooling around most of the time anyhow. So he has 50 plus years of working on the hoop shoot program. The next three people are from Massachusetts, James and Joyce Roche and Raymond Buddy Ivisi. These are the key volunteers that helped us move the national contest from Indianapolis, Indiana, up to Springfield, Massachusetts. And it would have never gotten done without these three people. I mean, they were the right-hand people working with Cam Cronk, who was the national director at that time. And they just did absolutely everything to make sure that it went correct.
Incredible work. Yeah.
Glad they're in the Hall of Fame. Jerry Grafton is a regional director for 16 years, and he worked with the program for over 46 years. He's from Iowa, so definitely his experience helped get him in the Hall of Fame. Jim J.D. Doris was from Kentucky. He served as a regional director for 13 years, and overall he worked in the program for over 35 years. His wife, Mary Kay, also served on the committee, which helped us choose this group of people. Jim Fuller is also from Kentucky. He worked and still works on directing the programs in Kentucky. He was a regional director for 13 years also, and he started the program in Cynthiana, his home Elks Lodge. So welcome aboard, Jim. Then also we got Keith Mills, this guy that is now serving as our national president of the Elks, the grand exalted ruler. He also served on our committee and gave us a great amount of knowledge that was very important to us. He worked on the hoop shoot program for 45 years. He actually shot in the hoop shoot contest for 6 years when he was growing up. And then he said he helped his dad work for 8 years on the local hoop shoot. He was 17 years local lodge director, 13 years as district director, 12 years as a state director, and 6 years as a regional director. There's
with the hoop shoot.
Yep, it's definitely important that he's in the Hall of Fame. The next person I have on my list is Randy Gregg from Kansas. He was a 16-year regional director. He was a baseball, basketball coach. He's worked on the hoop shoot program for over 40 years. He served in all of the Elks local offices. 26 years as lodge director, district director 2, state director 35, and regional director 16. There was a lot of those years that overlapped. Randy is an excellent guy. Richard Blinn served as regional director for 16 years. He had 48 different years that he worked at all the different levels. And his wife, Cindy, worked closely along his side for the program, she said, for over 36 years herself. So that is excellent. Richard Harris was a longtime regional director from West Virginia, I think. Is that correct? I'm thinking.
Yeah, I believe so.
And he worked for 44 years in the program. Robert Bob Bartolomeoli, affectionately called by all of us B13, because a lot of people couldn't pronounce his last name, and there was 13 letters in his last name, so it was just easier to call him B13. But he served as a regional director for 22 years. He was our van driver. You got to go for a lot of different things at a national contest and pick people up at the airport, etc. Well, he was the guy that did that.
Awesome.
The next person on my list is Ron Shogun from Wyoming. This guy did absolutely everything. I mean, he was involved with so much of the details at the national convention. When Cam and Linda was running the program, Ron was the go-to person for finding out anything or making sure that it was all there when it was time to do it. Ron did an excellent job.
Wow.
And his wife helped too. There's no doubt about that. The next person I have on my list is Walter Cattell. He served as a regional director for 25 years, and his nickname amongst the regional directors was the Weasel. I tell you what, that's a long story, so we won't even get into it, but I just wanted to share that with everybody. Worked on the hoop shoot program for 45 plus years.
Wow.
he was the elk and the hoop shoot guy in the entire New England area of the United States. He was a key individual in the hoop shoot program. And last but not least is William Bill Critchfield from Oregon. He served as a regional director at 21 years. And before that, he worked at all the different levels. In fact, he was another person that worked very closely with Frank Hayes in developing this program. I mean, he probably had 60 plus years of working on the hoop shoot program.
Wow.
So
Holy cow.
Bill was a great guy to get to know. He had stories that he could tell at all times about the hoop shoot program.
Oh my gosh.
So
that is
that's my list of 24 contributors, elks and
wow.
volunteers throughout the United States. Now there are many, 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 many more who will be nominated in the future, and it'll be well deserved for them too.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Vern. It's incredible to hear the history and the years of service that these amazing individuals put in. And like you said, there are so many more amazing individuals that will be honored in the years to come. So it's great. It's wonderful to hear about them. All right, Larry, are you ready to announce the competitors?
So we have 20 competitors who are going to be inducted in our Hoop Shoot Hall of Fame. I'll start with Allison Johnson. She's from New York, and she's a two-time national champion, and also won the Giddy Powell Award once. Bill Brasma from Colorado was a 12, 13-year-old national champion, Email Brady Award, and Giddy Powell Award. Bonnie Samuelson. She was a two-time national hoop shoot champion, and she also played basketball for Stanford University. Wow. And was a third in school history and 10th in Pac-12 history and three-point makes. Then we have Brian Gibbs from Colorado. He was a four-time national finalist, two national championships, one Emo Brady Award, and one Giddy Powell Award.
Amazing.
And then we have Brian Trumpke from Washington. He was a national champion, won the Emo Brady Award and the Giddy Powell Award. And then we have Chris Mullen. He was a national champion in 1974 and went on to a great career in the NBA. He played in the U.S. Olympics on the Dream Team, all kinds of accolades, ESPN Sports Analysis. Won the John Wooden Award as the nation's top college athlete. You can go on and on and talk about Chris. And then we have CJ Caldwell from Nebraska. He was a four-time national champion.
I mean, wow.
He won 8 and 9, 10, 11, and 12, 13. He won in every division, 4 national championships. And he also won the Emo Brady Award and the Giddy Powell Award. And then we have Doris Carey. She was a national champion, 12, 13, in 1982. She won the Emo Brady Award and the Giddy Powell and was the first woman to record a perfect score at the National Hoop Shoot Finals. And then we have Jackie Stiles. She was a finalist in 1991, the 12, 13-year-old girls. And she was inducted into the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame in 2016. And inducted in the Kansas City Hall of Fame in 2007. We have Jennifer Howard from North Carolina, two-time national champion, 10-11 girl in 1986 and 12 and 13 in 1988. And she won 2 Giddy Powell Awards and 1 Emo Brady Award.
Wow.
Then we have Joseph Gerard III. He was a two-time national finalist and won a national championship in 2015 and won the Brady Award and the Giddy Powell Award. And then we have Carly Samuelson from California. She won 2 national championships in 10, 11-year-old group in 2006, and in 2009, she won the 12 and 13-year-old. She also won the Giddy Powell Award and the Emo Brady Award. She played for Stanford. She ended her career with a 3-point percentage, the best 3-point percentage of any Pac-12 player in the history at that time.
Oh my gosh.
Then we have Kelly Hughes from New Jersey. She was a 4-time national finalist and won one national championship in 2004. And she played for the University of Wisconsin Badgers and was a graduate assistant there. And then we got Melissa Arrowwood, 5-time national finalist,
Oh my gosh.
and she won 2 national championships and 2 Giddy Powell Awards in 1992 as a 12, 13-year-old girl, in 1989 as an 8 and 9-year-old girl. And then we have Sean Floor. He was also a national finalist.
This is
Yeah, so-
Sean Floor. Sean Floor also in the shoot off for the Getty Powell. It took 75 shots
What?
before he won the Getty Powell Award that year.
Oh my
You know, what
goodness.
he did was, it was just amazing. I happened to witness that. He made 23 for 25. He tied with, I believe, Brendan Truman out of Utah. And they shot 15 set of tiebreakers. He shot an amazing score, 74 out of 75 to win the national championship that year. It was just an amazing shoot to watch.
Oh,
Back and forth they went. It was just amazing. Simone Augustus, she is a national finalist, but she was drafted by the Minnesota Lynx, 8-time NBA All-Star.
wow.
She played basketball at LAU, and she's a 2-time All-American. And there's just a lot on her resume. Actually, she was a 3-time national finalist.
Oh wow.
Then we have Steve Alford from Indiana. He was a finalist in 1974. He was the head coach of the University of Nevada, and he played 4 years in the NBA. And he's been a college coach. I think currently he coaches at the University of Nevada. He's been a coach for 30 years. And then we have Taylor Robertson from Kansas. She's a 3-time national finalist and a 2-time national champion, won the Emil Brady Award and the Giddy Powell Award. And she went on to play at the University of Oklahoma
Mhm.
and holds the Big 12 single season 3-point record.
Yeah.
And then
She's
we have
so-
Taylor Warman from Illinois. She won 2 national championships. Oh, he did.
did,
12,
yep.
13 boys, 10, 11, in 2003, and then in 2001, boys 8 and 9. He won 2 Giddy Powell Awards and 1 Emil Brady Award.
It's incredible.
And then we have Zeb Alford from North Carolina, 2-time national champion, 2-time national finalist,
Mhm.
and he won the national championship in 2009 as a 12 and 13.
Larry,
Oh, he said him what?
this guy, Zeb Alford, is the guy that has the distinction of it took 100 baskets
Mhm.
for him to win. And
That's what I have in my notes.
first of all, there was 4 people that tied 23 of 25, and then 2 of them dropped off after the first 5 sets of shots. And then he and this other guy shot until they reached the 100th basket.
Ah,
And it was, I think it was 74 out of 75 in the shoot-offs.
yep.
And in the national contest, it was 23 of 25.
Exactly.
So
97 out of 100, I believe, was his final score that year.
it's never
What
been
was the
done.
one that? Yeah, I witnessed that one. That was the one against Brendan Truman, I
Right.
believe. Okay.
Yep.
Incredible. And Zeb also served on our 2020 Alumni Advisory Board, the back board. So Zeb has stayed connected to the program. Holy cow, what a list of inductees. Those resumes are so inspiring. We have WNBA stars, collegiate stars, NBA players, Olympians in Chris Mullen, and then just the best hoop shooters I've seen. Like, these records are incredible. Jennifer Howard, CJ Cogill, all of these names and all of these people deserve this recognition. It is incredible. I am so in awe of their accomplishments.
McKenna,
Yeah.
those 20 contestants could be idols to any of these kids that are shooting right now in the hoop shoot program, and be very proud to have them as idols. You know, Jackie Stiles was just unbelievable. And she came and spoke as our keynote speaker at the national contest one time. Any little girl or even any little boy could hold them up as an idol, that I want to be like them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I couldn't agree with you more. And it's just, it's incredible. I'm just floored by this. And again, I want to thank you guys and the selection committee for all your hard work with coming up with this selection process, the names, everything. And I'll just kind of, give a little bit to the audience about what comes next. So we will be honoring our Hall of Famers at the 50th anniversary finals this April. We'll be inviting the inductees to join us at the National Finals in Chicago. And we'll be having a special place on our website where people can go and view these names and their bios and all of the wonderful facts and figures we just shared right now. And in addition, we're going to keep this going. This is just the inaugural class. We will have many more classes to come, many more inductees, and it's just inspiring volunteers and competitors from years past. Well, I just want to thank you guys for joining me for this announcement today. It's been great to have you both on the show. Any final words that you want to share before we wrap it up?
No, I just think that this is an opportunity for those young kids throughout the United States. I mean, the whole program, what we're trying to do is develop gritty kids. And this program really helps them in the rest of their life.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just happy to be part of it.
That's wonderful. Thanks, Vern. Larry, anything else you want to say before we wrap up today?
Just to echo one of the foundations we have is we are in the business of developing gritty kids. And when you have somebody who goes to national finals 5 times and they win twice, that means that they didn't win one, with 3 years, but they came back. They set goals and they bounce back, and that's what life's about. You're not going to win all the time. Mm-hmm. It's about picking yourself up, setting those goals, setting those goals that you can achieve, but having the discipline to do the work, to commit yourself that, this is going to be my end result. I'm going to succeed. And they did. And they're succeeding in life. And that's to me, what it's all about. It's about developing that grit so they'll be successful for the rest of their lives.
Mm-hmm. That you guys hit the nail on the head. And that's exactly what the Hoop Shoot does. And I thank you guys both for all of your hard work with this process and as Hoop Shoot regional directors. All right, so we will be back next month for another exciting interview. Maybe not, I don't want to say, this is pretty exciting, announcing a Hoop Shoot Hall of Fame. I'm not sure how we're going to top this one, but before we sign off, the March Service Scorecard begins now. It's a virtual engagement opportunity for anyone who wants to take part that combines the Elks spirit of volunteerism and fun. And participants have a chance to win a $100 donation to the charity of their choice. Larry, could you share this month's theme, please?
March theme is Spring Forward, encouraging participants to jumpstart the new season with service. Visit enfelks.org/service SC to participate.
Thank you so much, Larry and Vern. I'll be back in just a few seconds to announce the winners of the February scorecard. In the meantime, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you liked the show, leave a thumbs up and let us know what you thought in the comments below. Until next time, best wishes.
Best wishes.